You're listening to The Metal Lens. Life, the universe, and everything from a metal point of view.
Metal Lens. I'm Troy, and with me always is Ramon.
Hi.
Philanthropist and psychic reader to the stars.
Psychic reader, yep.
Very popular. So I have a little bit of news. Some current events.
Yeah.
In the ways of metal, of course. I've been having some pretty shitty luck finding decent new music to listen to until, and I know what you're going to say, go to Metal Injection, asshole.
Yeah,
well,
man.
Well, I'm busy, okay?
Get your news from the source,
So I did,
brah.
and I know this is like December, whatever, and this shit came out earlier in the year, but it's new to me, so it's new. Conan. Existential Void Guardian. Fabulous. Wonderful.
Okay.
To me, it's the greatest album of the year.
Conan, Existential
Void Guardian.
Guardian?
Yes.
Existential Void Guardian.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The implications of that alone.
Yeah, well, it's a fucking monster of an album, let me tell you.
All right.
Because previous to that, I really was a fan of Monos. That was a good album. Horseback Battle Hammer just sounded like ass shit. Good songs, but it was just fucking weird as fuck. I mean, because if people don't know, what Conan does,
Ass shit.
is
All right.
as opposed to mouse shit.
Other kinds, yeah, right.
Other kinds of shit.
Anyway,
what Conan does is everything they do, like the strings they use, the guitars they use, the amps, the cabinets, it's getting the lowest, deepest sound they could possibly get. That's what they strive for.
Yeah.
And, I've known some other bands that have done that too, and it's pretty difficult to translate that in a recording album. It's easy to do it live because you could feel it,
Right.
It's hard to translate that into a recording, and Monos is probably their best attempt at that, of getting what they really do, and but they fucking nailed it on this one, much better than their previous offerings, and this is just a fucking hammer of a fucking album. It's the vocals are really good, and he doesn't do the typical every song. He's kind of got some different little melodies to his voice. The other guy is singing the lows too with him, and it's really fucking good. Existential Void Guardian.
Dude, sounds
Fabulous.
brutal.
It's fucking heavy as
All right.
fuck. It's great. And I kind of like struck the gold mine. I found a lot of, because I'm picky. I'm fucking
Yeah.
picky.
Yeah.
Okay. And my tastes are kind of strange, like everybody else's. I'm trying to get into Neurosis right now, but it's taking a while. No, fuck off.
Yeah.
Another one is, this is kind of a strange one, is Ragana. Ragana is,
Regana.
it's a two-piece out of Oakland.
Huh.
It's two chicks,
Okay.
a guitar and drums.
All right.
And it's really, I enjoy it. It's a little strange because the way they go about it, it's kind of got like this punk element to it.
Huh.
Almost like that New York 80s punk. Because the guitar playing is not great.
Okay.
The drumming is not great.
Uh-huh.
But it works together well, very good. And this girl can scream like the best of them. And I'm going to play just a tidbit because it's...
Huh. All right.
and it goes back and forth.
Okay,
But
okay.
she could sing really well.
Yeah. So it's not punk.
Just
But-
wait. Just wait.
Well, all right.
Those screams are
Yeah.
oh,
yeah.
they're really good. I was thinking about queuing up a certain song to get you the best. Here we go. And some of the songs got a black metal kind of thing to it too. But I just love the way she sounds. The screams are. They're really desperate sounding. It's just. How can you not love that?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's raw, man.
It's very raw.
Yeah.
I guess that's the punk thing that I'm getting
yeah,
at.
that you're picking up on. Yeah.
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 Really good, Ragana. And the reason I found them is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because we're down here in Louisiana in the South, and it's freezing outside because it's like 45.
Well, it's December.
And we're
About time it got a little cold.
that's freezing for us, 45 degrees.
45 degrees.
They did a split with Vow.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
Let Our Names Be Forgotten. And it's a really good split.
With who?
Thou.
I don't know who that is. I
Yes,
forgot
you
the
do.
name.
So y'all should know who Vow is.
Absolutely.
Talking to
Thou.
y'all, as if y'all know. But they're a local band down here. Mm-hmm. Friends of ours, they're good.
Brian Funk. We talked about them a few episodes ago when they
Yeah.
did that Crowbar cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did a split with them, and it's really good. And that's how I stumbled upon, because I seen, Vow put out like 2 new albums. They're steadily...
In the course of a month.
Yeah, they're steadily spitting them out. And I'm like, what is... Oh, they got a split. I'm like, okay.
Regatta.
And then I'm like, oh, my God, listen to this girl scream.
Out of Oakland.
Yeah, 2-piece. Mm-hmm. Really good.
I heard a new Primitive Man track today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did see that they did put out a new one.
Yeah. It was pretty intense.
Oh, they are
Pretty
intense.
fucking deep
They
and
are
just
intense. Yeah. We were in the running to play that show when they played down here when I was with Solid Giant.
oh, all
We were
right.
trying to play the Primitive Man show to open up for him.
Yeah.
It didn't quite work out.
No.
A little political, but whatever.
Who wound up playing that show?
Cicada.
All right.
I know, it's an odd choice,
Yeah.
but whatever.
All right.
Another one is this is another one, and they're from Forming the Void. They're from Lafayette.
No shit.
That's Cajun country.
Boudin Hunter.
Yeah, and they've put out quite a few albums, but this last one in particular, if you look it up, like on, I don't know if it's Metal Injection, but a couple. If you like Google top 10 metal albums of 2018, this one hits the top of the list all the time. Mm-hmm. So let's check it out. They've had a few other albums. Got to tell you, not really my cup of tea. It's kind of got a new metal type of feel. Mm-hmm. But this album, Rift, Relic was the one before this, and it was kind of starting to get there. Mm-hmm. But this one, it's really polished sounding, but drop tuning, it sounds like. But then what they do with the vocals just is really good. Should be about... A lot of reverb, a lot of delay. Mm-hmm. And that's just good doom shit right there. It's quality stuff. It's good.
Man, first thing that popped in my head was Cathedral.
Yeah. Yeah, it's with the, because it's similar to the last album before this, Relic, but it didn't have that effect on the vocals. The vocals were really dry.
Were they dry? Okay.
And it just really didn't hit and pop.
Yeah.
But when they did that to the vocals with that type of riffage,
Yeah.
it just turned into a really great doom album.
Oh, yeah.
So there it is.
No shit. No, so you said they kind of went from almost like a nu metal thing to that?
No.
Or-
Well, yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying nu metal, but it was kind of bland
Okay.
and kind of, yeah, it kind of had like a new type of metal, like,
Yeah.
a modern new metal band that comes out. That's just what they sound like.
All right.
You know.
All
But they put that effect on the vocals, and the patterns of the vocals slowed down a lot,
Uh-huh.
and it just turned into some really great doom.
Yeah.
So there you go, Forming the Void from right down here in Lafayette.
Go Lafayette.
Yeah.
Well done.
I think, oh yeah, I was back searching some Caius.
Caius.
Sky Valley.
Uh-huh.
Decent album.
Yeah.
Stoner rock. You know. Do you remember? I was looking for a Kaya song, a song in particular, because I'm going back to my younger days, the
Alright.
MTV Headbangers Ball Buzz Clip fucking world, which was our main outlet or inlet, I guess.
Ricky Rackman.
Oh yeah,
Ricky Rackman.
one foot up my ass and one fist in your mother.
Something like that. Yeah.
Whatever. Fuck.
I still never know what I don't know what he meant by that, but you know what? He turned it into his thing.
One foot in the gutter, one fist in the
Fist
goal.
in the gold. Yeah.
I like fisting your mother better. But anyway,
You ever hear something that doesn't make sense, but you hear it often enough, it just kind of starts to make sense, and you don't question it anymore.
Right, yeah.
That's kind of like what that was like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a Caius song, and I'm almost positive it was Caius, and it had, because it was really one of the first times that you really heard this beautifully shitty bass tone. It was just fuzzy, down-tuned, and it was the beginning of a Kaya song. And I tried to look for it and I couldn't find it. So if you could find it for me, send me link it to me
Submit to comments below.
at metallens.com.
Assuming this
Which will
video
be
winds up
coming soon.
on YouTube. Metallens.com? You want to work on that? Shit, it'd be cheap enough. It's like $10-12 a year, man.
Yeah. So, what has
Yeah.
been going on with you, sir?
Man, just fucking, things are winding down at work with the semester slowing down, and just trying to get some fucking work done in the house. Man,
Christmas parties?
Christmas parties? Oh yeah, all those.
Tis the
Christmas
season to be
parties.
sloppy.
I am a popular dude. Everybody's inviting me to all the Christmas parties.
I got more than I've normally had, too, because my wife is getting invited to some stuff with the garden, and I got to go to that.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
That's goings on. Well, we're gonna be out of town. We're gonna be going up to Pennsylvania to visit
yeah?
her family. Man, I'm not looking forward to that. It's gonna be.
Pennsylvania in the wintertime should be nice, huh?
Yeah. I'll bring my swimming trunks,
Yeah, right.
dude. For
Maybe a little hoodie. That should be all you need.
for the sole reason of the fact that it's gonna be freezing ass cold, which
Yeah.
my fucking little body is not prepared for.
Yeah, we
in
don't like the
least.
cold down here.
No.
Like I said, it's 45 degrees and we're freezing to fucking death.
Dude, we're leaving Christmas Day, and we're gonna be there through New Year's.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, and so I took a few
Ew.
extra days of work off, just to prepare for the possibility of being snowed into at some airport somewhere in
Yeah.
New England or whatever.
That's horrible to be away from your comfort For that long,
Yeah,
that's
comfort
not-
zone.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's a good like 20, 30, 40 degree difference
Yeah.
in comfort zone.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't envy you, my friend.
I appreciate your support. It'll be fine though. You know, family warms the heart.
Mm-hmm.
But music wise, man, I don't know. I haven't again. I haven't really been listening to a whole. You know what I've been listening? I've been listening to a lot of Origin lately. Have you heard those guys?
Origin.
Origin.
Boy, I can almost see the album cover. It sounds really familiar. I think I've perused that before.
Man, I don't know if we played with them, but I was certainly at the Dixie Tavern when Origin played, like in like whatever, I don't know what it must have been, like the early 2000s.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, because it certainly is familiar.
Yeah. They just do like brutal technical death metal, and the drummer, at least their original drummer, what is his name? John Lagstruth or something like that. He does the gravity blast thing. So they're just fucking all over the place, and like it's like the whole song is like a solo, practically. All the guitar work, and then the singer is just fucking all over the place.
So it's like prog, like a Macedon type of prog.
Oh, it's fast.
Yeah.
Like he's doing like 64th notes on the kick drum
Yeah.
and on the snare too. That's what I'm saying. The gravity blast. You ever heard? You know what I'm talking about? So it's retarded. I don't know. I just listen to that like at the end of the workday when I'm pumped and I need that a second wind. So I just need something to like kind of re-energize.
Yeah, that's the only bad thing about my work. I can't listen to music while I'm working, and I can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I have such a short commute.
Right.
It's like, oh shit, I forgot about an album. I don't know why it didn't come up.
Uh-oh.
Yob.
No shit. New?
Yeah.
New Yob.
Yeah, this year.
All right.
God damn it.
Oh,
Why isn't it here?
While you search,
Oh,
Troy,
there it is. Oh.
let us.
This podcast has been brought to you by beer.
Fucking right it has.
Our Raw Heart.
Our raw heart.
It's good. It's Yob. It's good. It's a little more focused than other Yob albums. It's not as spacey, and because and that's what made me think of it, because it's like I was listening to Yob, and it's like by the time I get through the intro of a song, I'm halfway home.
Right.
And I want to get into the song,
Right.
So it's a lot more focused, but it's very good. All Raw Heart.
A raw heart. Those guys are from the Northwest,
Yeah.
where I spent about 8 years of exile.
Yeah,
after
Seattle or
Katrina.
something, or Washington, or
I don't remember. I was in Portland. They're either from Portland or Seattle or something
Yeah.
like that. Somewhere, Oregon or Washington. It's all
Mike
the same.
Shiitake mushrooms.
Those guys are
Mike
good, though.
Shite, I think. Either
But-
way, he's the. I mean,
the songs are more focused, but I mean, is
Yeah.
it have like is it heavy or is it like a
oh
little
no,
bit more rock?
No,
or-
it's heavy. It's
It's
fucking
heavy. Okay.
It's fucking heavy.
All right.
It's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Yob, so the vocals are gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, dude is pretty sick.
Probably one of the most dynamic guitar playing too, though. Because see, that only took a minute and 20 to really get into it. That's short.
Right.
For Yob.
Right.
But there's this other song. This one. Which that sounds like Yob. That's what Yob normally does. And like the thing about Yob is when you listen to these guitar lines, it's like he's got that one chord that which might be an A chord or whatever. So he's doing that, but he's varying off of it.
Yeah.
And he's hitting the open strings, the high strings, and he's got all these little nuances to all his little riffs.
Yep.
And it just makes for really great right in.
Serious shit, dude.
Yeah, and because they tend to get a little spacey and airy, but not with this album. It's more focused and to the point, which is good.
No kidding.
So yeah, it is Yob's latest offering. It's great. It's great.
I remember the last time.
They do not disappoint.
Last episode, I had mentioned these new Megadeth album coming out. Rumors of it being like really heavy. I actually listened. There's so I guess somebody in the studio sneak peek of the drummer.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. He I guess he used to play drums for what do they call it? That Swedish band?
It's narrowing it down a bit.
That's yeah. 3 or 4 bands came out of Sweden altogether. Not ABBA. Soilwork. Used to play drums for Soilwork. I think they're Swedish, but whatever. They're European and they're white. And anyway, the drummer.
That's what I was thinking of Cryptopsy, but it happened to be Canada. Whatever.
More north.
More north.
More north. We're more northy than you are.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he's behind the kit. You know, he's doing a track or whatever. Son of a bitch is doing a grind, man. He's blasting, and then he's doing like that same like 64th or like 128 beats per minute or 128 notes or whatever on his kick drum, man. It's confirmed, I guess, that's supposed to be a new Megadeth song, and I just can't imagine that being a Megadeth song.
Well, I don't know. I mean, to me,
It's hard to imagine.
yeah. Well, it would be harder to imagine if that was a new Metallica album. You know,
I got to comment on that too, by the way.
because say what you want, but I mean, Megadeth didn't really go the same route.
Not exactly. No, I just listened to. In fact, I posted on Facebook. I'm curious if there were any comments. Metallica did. It's honorable. They've been doing stuff for charity.
Yeah.
But they did this set. I don't know if the whole set was acoustic, but this one song was acoustic version of Disposable Heroes.
Why? We shouldn't ask these questions.
Charity?
Right?
I don't know. I don't know, man. But it was the weird. I mean, it barely sounded like Disposable Heroes. Body filled the fields I see, broken. And it's James on an acoustic box, just it's not even it.
Weird.
It is strange. It is bizarre. But that's so. Yeah, I guess two.
Yeah.
Divergent
Well, yeah, that's
paths.
if Megadeth is putting out a really heavy album. I'm like, okay, let's roll.
I guess I guess if you're gonna evolve and change as a band, I
don't think they ever really put out a light album.
Well, I haven't heard Megadeth acoustic yet. Megadeth
Right.
unplugged. I guess the I tell you what, you know what?
I think if someone asked him, Dave would just go, no.
The least distorted song that I can think of that I've heard from them is Dawn Patrol.
Right.
And that's just because there's no guitars.
Right.
But that's a good song, though. You know what I'm talking
What
about?
a
It's a fun song.
What
dude.
an interesting thing that was. It was so fascinating when we were kids and you heard that. You're like, what the fuck are they doing?
Right.
That sounds great. There's no guitar.
Yeah, no guitar. Just a bass and him.
A very
crooning.
simple concept, but mind-blowing.
Yeah. And it was a great bridge to what was probably the perfect
Polaris.
way to conclude that album, dude.
Right.
What a fucking album that was.
Rest in peace, Nick Menza.
Rest in peace. That will always be probably, dude. I'll probably put that in my top 10 metal albums. of all
That's
time,
absolutely in mine.
in my opinion.
And rest in peace, Nick Menza.
Oh yeah, Nick Menza. Here, cheers.
Oh, that's so good.
Caramel and vanilla.
Yeah.
Thankfully we haven't had too many recent losses, as far as I know, in the metal scene.
No,
Or in the music scene altogether. Although I will say,
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. Oh, Jesus. That was since we last recorded. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a pisser.
Yeah.
But he had to go sooner or later, and he put it this way. I mean, I don't think it's a stretch to link him to metal because
I don't think it is.
a lot of a lot of us metalheads, we were into comic books,
Oh, yeah.
and no comic book would have made it and existed if it wasn't for Stan Lee. The comic book industry just would have fell on its face and died.
Yeah. Yeah. He revitalized
Absolutely.
the industry. He made it fucking current, man. He made it not just current, but relevant.
Yeah, and because like, all right, so you got Marvel and DC, your big heavy hitters, right?
Mm-hmm.
DC, you dying. Aquaman, Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman movie was good.
It was a good movie.
It was good, but dude, Marvel is just knocking it out of the fucking park.
Yeah.
With all the latest movies and everything, and the TV show, the Daredevil TV show, fantastic.
Oh, I heard that was not renewed.
Well, it had the third season just came out.
I
This-
think
this
I think they're cutting it at that.
Well,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it might be after that, but they had just the 2 seasons for a while. And they just said the third one
Oh, okay.
come on. It might be over after that. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. Gotcha.
But the Punisher, fantastic.
Well, I just saw a trailer for the new for Avengers 4 today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kicking.
Killing it,
Mm-hmm.
knocking it flat out the park.
And just, I mean,
They got some kind of formula going on with these fucking movies, and it's just working like a charm.
I just think the relevance of it, like
That fucking Doctor Strange movie was awesome.
dude, that is a rewatchable movie,
Hell yeah.
start to end. and I kind of wish they would. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed about what what they did with the X-Men.
Yeah, I am too. They were that
the
was
most
in
part.
their infancy.
Mm-hmm.
They were.
Mm-hmm. I think they can go back to. Although Logan, did you see Logan?
No, I have not.
That dude, that is. I mean, that's a heart. Not even a heart tugger. That's a heart ringer of a movie, dude. I mean, it is Wolverine.
Yeah.
And it's a great story. And it's not just about, I have my criticisms about, Hollywood altogether, but it is not a fucking just a action special effects movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got action where it has its place, but goddamn, that movie tells a story. Just
Yeah.
like any good fucking
And comic book.
Wolverine movie or
Yeah,
comic book.
because
for that matter.
and that was my thing about the X-Men and the Wolverine. I just Hugh Jackman, is all right, but I didn't really because I was a big Wolverine fan, and I don't know, they were okay.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really dive into his character that deeply enough. I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I guess now apparently they did.
Logan does a good job
Yeah.
of kind of, I mean, it's not about his history, it's about his person,
Yeah.
and I think that makes and Xavier makes it. He's in it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool movie. Speaking of movies, if we could bring it back to music for a minute, went and saw Bohemian Rhapsody last weekend.
Oh yeah.
The Queen, the Queen biopic or whatever.
I'm not gonna lie, it did look good.
Oh, you hadn't seen it?
No.
Dude, it is good. It is good.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna tell that story, it's gotta be good.
I will give them their embellishments. I guess after the fact I realized that they deviated from fact at a few points. I don't know, fairly minor and inconsequential pieces to drive a story into.
Well,
into,
yeah, but I mean, I would imagine any kind of movie like that, you got so many stories out there, and probably not all of them are true anyway. Mm-hmm. You know, so
right. Well, shit, dude. Probably half of the stories that Freddie Mercury told probably weren't really true
Right.
anyway. So how the
Right.
hell would you know one way or
Right.
the other? But dude, I mean, I remember about 4 or 5 years ago, I went on a just randomly just took a big Queen kick. I was just really listening to a shit ton of Queen and just
Yeah.
really getting into it, and just, when Freddie died, it was just like a huge fucking deal. And that dude was fucking the man on stage.
oh yeah,
And I will,
incredible vocalist.
oh dude, unbelievable. Just a front man. And this movie did like a bang up job of really fucking putting the spotlight on that fact that the dude is just he has no equal,
Yeah,
just like the Highlander. No man can be his equal.
Right.
He was just one of a fucking kind. But one of the things that impressed me the most about that movie was the casting.
yeah.
Dude, anybody who hears this, go out and see that movie, okay? And then, and if you know who Brian May is, if you know who John Deacon is, you look at these guys, and
Fabulous bass player, by the way. Incredible bass player.
that guy was he was Brian May. And whatever your boy, I don't even know his name, he was fucking Freddie Mercury. They did an incredible job of just being the dude that got to play Brian May. He looks exactly like Brian May
Yeah.
from like the 70s and shit. I mean, he looks exactly
Well,
like him. It's ridiculous.
I'm thinking, who did play Freddie Mercury?
I don't even know. He's just he's an American dude. He's got like an Egyptian background, but Freddie Mercury had like a Pakistani background. So he kind of had that sort of like mixed.
I want to say I know who it is.
I don't know who he is. I don't know his name. If I saw his picture, I would recognize him, but I don't know what his name is.
What's the name of the movie? Was it Queen?
It's Bohemian Rhapsody.
editing.
Get any information?
This is what editing is for.
Yes, this is exactly what he's editing. I found him. Rami Malek.
You got a
Rami
picture of him. I
Malek.
want to say.
This dude. Look at him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's young.
Yeah.
Actually, he's not that young. He's born in '81.
What did he play in? Because I've seen him in other stuff.
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, I heard about that. I heard
Yeah,
that was worth
okay.
looking at.
I just
BoJack
remember.
Horseman. I guess he was a voice in BoJack Horseman.
Well, I just remember seeing him. Like, oh yeah, I know that dude. It's not like he was some unknown guy.
Right. No, he's been working for
Yeah.
a little bit. From the looks of it, he's been doing shit since early 2000s. But yeah, dude, that dude pulled off. I mean, it's not like I fucking knew what. Of course, I didn't know what Freddie Mercury was like in real life, but he portrayed a believable Freddie Mercury. And I tell you,
Well, I mean, we've had numerous music movies before. The Doors, you either hate
Right.
that movie or love it. Whatever.
I never watched it.
It's I was really kind of into the Doors at the time when I seen it, so
Doors are cool.
I guess it's Val Kilmer. You either like him or you hate him. Mm-hmm. But what was that Johnny Cash movie?
Oh,
Walk the Line.
Walk the Line. Yeah.
I kind of like was it Walk Hard with John C. Reilly?
Oh, I saw bits of that.
That was a lot better.
So, Bohemian Rhapsody, they had the trailers, and I guess they're doing a biopic now for fucking Elton John.
Yeah, and speaking of Elton John, he's playing this weekend in New Orleans.
Wait, this weekend or was that last weekend?
Or maybe it was last weekend. I know it was
I
the
think
other.
it might have been
here
last
and there. Okay,
weekend.
maybe it was last weekend.
But for his farewell tour.
Yeah. Yeah, Elton John just came through here.
Yeah.
I didn't go.
Really?
No, I didn't go.
What a coincidence. Neither was I. It didn't really seem too terribly interesting because it's like, I don't care.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I don't hate Elton John or
years,
anything. I just don't really
years
care about his
and
story.
years ago,
Uh-huh.
years,
Years.
Paul McCartney came through, and I went to that, and I heard he was coming through again,
Okay.
and I will probably definitely go. It
Okay.
was very good and very
Okay.
interesting.
All right.
He, he brought out the piano that he wrote Let It Be on, and played Let It Be on that piano.
You're right, right.
And he would give like little tidbits of Beatle history. He'd come out there and talk a little bit and play the song. Like, for instance, he would, it's like when they were really young, John Lennon was a little bit older than him.
Okay.
So John would go into the clubs and the bars, and he would stay outside with his little guitar, and he would just kind of strum these little songs. And he said years and years later, after they really started to get popular or whatever, he's like, John would tell Paul, you remember those little songs that you would play when I would go into the bars back in, I guess, Soho or whatever the fuck, wherever they were? And he's like, yeah, I remember those. He goes, let's work on one of them. And then he started playing My Michelle. He went right into Michelle, my, and that was, it's just cool little, and he let him in really cool. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Little bits of trivia.
And I mean that's my Beatle. I think
McCartney, yeah.
He's one of the top 5 bassists that's ever walked the face of the earth. I mean, he could play everything, drums, guitar, fucking whatever, and he can sing and scream and do whatever the fuck he wants musically, really. But the bass playing work was just phenomenal, phenomenal. But top 5 ever, all time, for sure. And a lot of the shit, I just seen this, it's interesting because he's got to be 70, he's got to be close to fucking 80.
McCartney?
Yeah, he's got to be 70, he's in the 70s for sure.
I guess so, yeah.
And, man, he was on this talk show thing, whatever. It was fucking something that I don't normally watch, but it was Paul McCartney, so I started watching it. And I actually went back to his hometown, where he grew up, in Liverpool, I guess. And that fucking dude, maybe he's got a little thing to this vegan thing, a vegetarian thing.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you, the fucking guy is as sharp as a fucking tack. He ain't missed a step. He's, he ain't missed a lick. He's 76.
76. Damn. Yeah.
Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sharp as a fucking tack.
Hey.
Funny. Can still sing, can still play. 76.
But the thing about him is he never stopped.
No. And
He never stopped.
He really honestly acts and looks and plays like he's like in his late 50s.
I gotta believe that there's something about. I mean, if you keep yourself active,
Yeah.
and
sure.
just playing and doing what he does, doing TV appearances or whatever, and just playing shows and all, and especially music. I mean, just the math and the skill involved in just performing and writing music. I think that just kind of keeps your brain going.
Think of the fucking brain power it takes for him to make a set list for an hour show or an hour and a half show. Think about the fucking material that is in that fucking guy's fingertips that he fucking wrote. Massive. Massive. And he can play all of it.
Yeah.
He can play whatever he wants.
Hey, Paul McCartney, would you name this tune?
Well, and that's kind of funny because in this show, this TV show, I would go into it, but I can't remember the fucking guy's name. He's on some late night show or whatever, but he was in England or whatever. And they went to this pub, and it was during the day, so there wasn't a lot of people in there. And he went in there first. And they had a stage, but they had the curtains drawn. And the talk show host went in there behind the bar, and this girl come up and they give her a drink. Goes, hey, would you mind playing something on the jukebox? And she did, and she happened to play a Beatles song. And when she played it in the jukebox, the curtain opened, and Paul McCartney and his band played that song. And then people started coming in, and it was like, play another song. And then they would play a song in the jukebox, and they would play that song.
Wow.
It was awesome.
It just to be able to, I mean, to be able to pull out
Yeah.
a piece of music history,
Yeah.
play it,
Like I said, I
just
seen,
randomly.
it was probably about, it was before the storm. It was before Katrina.
Okay.
That I saw him, and if he
right.
comes, I will absolutely see him again. It was extremely, extremely enjoyable.
I guess the Stones are supposed to play Jazz Fest this year.
Yes, that's true. That's true. The old Stones. I was into the Stones for a little while. I like Sticky Fingers. I like that album. It's a good album.
Well, the thing about Jazz Fest, dude,
They're
is
still making money, man. They've been at it for fucking 60 fucking
the
years.
Stones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
50,
God.
60 years. And they're still making money. I think, because I remember this was probably about 10 years ago, and they were touring, and they made the most money in fucking music. And it was like their 55th year of existence, and they made the most money out of anybody in music. What the fuck?
Hey, dude, you know what? Talk about the formula.
Yeah.
Dude, they got it, because it's not the most complex songs
Dude.
ever, dude.
Keith Richards
I mean,
sucks as a guitar player. And have you ever heard any of his solo shit with him singing? Oh, it's fucking hell, dude.
I'm feeling very grateful that I haven't.
Dude, if you put me in a fucking box and play that shit, I will fucking kill myself. I will
dear.
snap my own neck. It's fucking horrible.
Uh-huh.
Mick Jagger can't sing couldn't hold a fucking tune to save his life. But it fucking works. And like, that's kind of that thing. It's kind of like Regana. It's like, this shit's not that good. It's really not. The guitar playing is pretty primitive.
Uh-huh.
And the drumming is really strange.
Yeah.
It's not, because it's a girl playing drums. And sorry, I don't care if you don't fucking like it. But when a girl plays, girls play drums different than guys play drums. It just happens. Okay?
I haven't paid enough attention to enough
They do.
female percussionists.
The rolls aren't as smooth.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of a little primitive in their changes, but it works together well. And that was the thing with the Stones. It just, the crap worked together well. I mean, Neil Young was another one. And I've said this about Neil Young before. Neil Young, horrible vocals.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Oh, God.
hey, old man, take a look at my life. It's just fucking horrible. But he was a fucking genius songwriter. And that's what made it work. He wrote songs to fit his voice, his horrible voice, shrill, thin, weak voice. And it just, and he played harmonica. My fucking ass could play fucking harmonica better than he could play harmonica. But it just, he was such a fabulous songwriter that his guitar solos are horrible.
You know,
They're loose and sloppy, but he was such a great songwriter. It was magic.
there's got to be something about the balance that an artist or a performer puts forth. I mean, what the Stones may lack in, technical proficiency and songwriting. They I mean, I guess they, to some degree, they make up for it with just reputation and name alone. But just performance and the hook, those goddamn. I mean, Satisfaction, right?
Right.
That is one riff.
That's it.
One riff, but it's a pretty good riff, I guess. I mean, looking back at it, it's like down, 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 down. I mean, it's got exactly what you need to catch somebody. You know what I mean? Especially considering the time.
And think about that.
It was written in.
If you had any other beat besides this.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It would just ruin that riff. It would just be ruined.
Imagine playing on the downbeat for that song.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It would be a totally different riff.
Imagine Joe playing drums.
Right. It couldn't happen.
He would fuck that song to shreds, man.
Fuck it to death.
Joe, I hope you're listening to this, dude.
Yeah.
God damn. No, but it's go look at Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't care if you wait for it to come out on cable, man. It's a good fucking movie, dude.
It looked good. It really did. I mean,
No, a lot of people recommended it, and it was definitely worth looking at. I'll go see it again.
because like they had other ones, like
opportunity arises.
they had a Jimi Hendrix movie. It was pretty terrible.
Did they really? I
Yeah,
didn't know about that.
yeah, I know. Nobody does because it was horrible.
Well, that's the thing. When I saw that trailer for the Elton John biopic, I thought like, oh great,
Yeah.
now here we come, here we go. They're gonna start putting out all these goddamn biopics now, and,
Right.
And it's just gonna be one thing after the other because it makes money and it's Hollywood and it's
Yeah.
fucking bullshit. That was a good movie. I'll see that again, man. Fucking Elton John biopic. I think it was kind of like Rocket Man, maybe. Of course.
Man.
And again, it's nothing against Elton John. I just don't really care about his life, you know? Not that much. Not enough to make a movie out of it.
Right, I
and
like
then
his
go
movie.
watch
I
it.
don't care about his life.
I mean, yeah, his music is fine, you know? But
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. I mean, just where do you draw the line?
Right.
You know? Ginger Baker, the biopic. Ooh.
Yeah.
The biopic movie about some fucking studio musician, right?
Well,
He passed on the drugs and the girls so he can do his duty, you know? And
well, for some reason, and it's kind of funny you bring up Ginger Baker because the only thing that is somewhat interesting that I do remember hearing was he was a kid on a farm in rural whatever, and decided he played marching drums because that's how he set his shit up flat.
Okay.
And he, 18 years old, said, "Goodbye, Mom. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to the city. I'm going to start a band. I'm going to be famous." And that's what he did. Packed his shit up and went. That might be as interesting as it ever got.
I guess. I mean, there's
Which
probably,
wasn't truly unique because a lot of people did that.
maybe not, but I mean, you know, that make for a nice YouTube short. But like 2-hour movie. Bohemian Rhapsody was a 2-hour and 15-minute movie, dude.
Yeah.
And I guess Freddie Mercury, you got a flamboyant enough, you got a
Yeah.
interesting and a complex enough character. Maybe Elton John, maybe you can argue that. I don't give a shit about Elton John. But I mean, you get somebody
But
who,
you had, I mean, when people get up to that level, you have a lot of interesting stories that surround them. Like I said, whether they're true or not or whatever.
I guess so. I mean, I guess David Bowie they could make a movie about his story. They could
Right.
do the same thing about Mick
Right.
Jagger. But I mean, I don't know. It's there's something monumental about Queen,
Freddie
and that's
Mercury-
probably my bias.
Did Freddie Mercury and David Bowie really fucking suck each other's cock?
I don't know. I
don't
don't
know.
care. I wasn't in the
Was
movie.
it true?
either.
I don't know. Well, that's what I'm saying.
But the-
and it might not be. Oh well, how come David Bowie wasn't sucking his cock in the fucking movie? Well, it might not have been true. It might have just been bullshit,
Right.
which it probably was.
Well, and I will say I am biased because I think fucking Queen is great.
Oh yeah.
I always thought they were great.
Did you
And-
know Brian May, the guitar?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only guitar he's ever played. Him and his father made that guitar.
Shit, I told Nicole about that. I told
And,
that shit is handmade.
and
You
it's-
cannot go out and buy a Brian May guitar because it's just a fucking original.
Well, the thing about it, which was strange, is because they made it out of oak.
Oh, no
From
shit.
what I remember reading once, and
Mm-hmm.
oak is a very strange wood to make a guitar out of.
Mm-hmm.
Not because it's not a tone wood, is because there's a lot of voids.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to fill it, you know. So there was a lot of work involved in doing that.
And he had a
And it was
very,
probably heavy as a motherfucker.
oh god, and he had a very distinct tone.
Yeah, and him,
Oh,
him and his dad made that guitar together.
I when they did the whatever Paramount picked, I don't even know what the when they did the dum, ba-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, at the beginning of a movie.
Yeah.
It
20th Century Fox.
was it 20th Century Fox. It turned
MGM,
into like the song blended into it was like a medley of Brian May tone,
Yeah.
like a 3 or 4 maybe 5 part harmony,
Okay.
guitars dun, 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 with that distinct
Yeah,
vibrato
yeah,
that he
right,
had.
right.
It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. And whenever they had footage of them playing, they would have just that wall of Vox combos,
Yeah.
just standing there. Dude had a, I really, there's something about his playing that was really distinct. He was a singular guitarist. He had a great tone. He had a great style. It just worked, and that was the thing about Queen. I just think that it just fucking worked. It made sense.
Yeah, well, I mean,
In a lot
and
of
that's the
ways.
whole thing, isn't it? I mean, you're trying to be in a band, and you're trying to make it or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to do something, and it's just a strange thing. It's like it almost has to sound awful to some people for it to sound good, because it's got to be that different and that strange. It can't be run of the mill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and just what you do, it's like, because, all the guitar manufacturers don't make guitars out of oak. They just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Mays was. Is that what made him a great guitar player?
No.
He could pick up a Fender Strat and sound like Brian May. That's just,
Yeah.
that's what happens. Like this Regana band. It's never heard anything quite like it. And when you get to that point, you're either going to hate it or you're going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
And you almost have to get to that point.
Hmm.
And just hope that more people like it than hate it.
You just flip a coin, man.
Because if not, you're just going to blend. You're just
Yeah,
going to blend
yeah.
into all the wash of bullshit.
Right. Yeah. And I've heard enough of that shit.
You're right.
It-
And that's why I peruse new music all the time. I'm like, crap, heard it. Jesus Christ. All these fucking male doom singers, when they try and sing, they all sound the fucking same. That sounds just like the last man. That sounds just like the last man.
Yeah, it's
Fucking
disappointing.
do what you do and don't try and sound like anybody else.
Mm-hmm. I know we've commented on this before, but I mean, I'm struggling to identify some local bands
Yeah.
that are, that are up my alley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That I think. I mean, we've talked about Six Pack before, and
Mhm.
actually I haven't heard their name in a while. Now that I'm thinking about
They're
it.
really actually Six Pack is still going, and
Yeah.
they're really the only ones that have really kind of still been going since Siberia shut down.
Yeah,
Because the scene
yeah.
kind of took a nice big dip, but Six Pack was still. I'm like, oh, Six Pack's doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still out there grinding, man.
Well, I know Santos is kind of Santos Bar is kind of taken over. The
Yeah.
scene since Siberia didn't shut down. They just
You stop doing music. Yeah.
now the Siberia Lounge.
Yeah.
So you can kick back and raise your pinky as you eat your borscht or whatever the hell they serve. there.
Well, it's some hipster bullshit. They got good food there, but I mean.
Right. So what is it? It's like Slavic or Slovenian?
Yeah.
I've never had it. I don't know.
Oh, dude.
It's good though.
Oh,
huh?
fuck, is it good?
I've heard it was good. I just never had it.
The best Reuben I ever had in my life.
No shit.
Oh my god, it's good. You eating it and you just don't want it to end. It's good. It's like Russian Slavic type of thing,
Gotcha.
unique thing, which is their niche, and that's what they wanted to do, and they, more power to them.
Fair enough. They're just not doing any more.
The
metal
Santos
shows.
thing is going to pick up.
Yeah.
It's relatively new, so it's going to go.
That building though, dude.
What?
That's where the goddamn well, shit. That was where I don't know what it was before, but it was the Whirling Dervish.
The Whirling Dervish, yeah.
And before
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
it was like what it was the Crystal, and then goddamn, I don't even know.
It's in the French Quarter.
Yeah, on Decatur.
Yeah, on Decatur Street.
Decatur.
Darling.
Oh my God. That same damn building.
Yeah. Which is kind of fucked up if because it's
Oh, I'd hate to be a touring band and have to go.
well, it you know, because the stage is where the dance floor used to be,
So way in the back.
and it's gets narrow and does this thing. So basically, if you're at the bar, you can't see the stage. It's weird.
Gotcha. Is the bar on the same side as it was when the Dervish
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
on the
It's set up
like the
exactly the
Esplanade
same.
side?
Well, yeah.
I guess that'd
Well, I
be the
mean,
east side or
actually,
whatever.
I haven't been there.
Okay.
Jason's been there. He played there once, but I mean, I mean, I used to go there all the time, so I know. Didn't move the bar. It's it's
Okay,
on the right
okay.
when you walk in, and it's where you remember they had this little area. So you had the bar area, and then you had this kind of closed-in foyer kind of area.
Yeah. It's
Where
squeezed
they had
in.
they had like little chairs and
Yes,
sofas and shit.
yes.
And then they had the dance floor back there. Well, that's where the stage is, way back there.
Right.
So you can imagine how it's.
I remember when Mark was fucking DJing. Mark Taranto was DJing. And we went over there hanging out one night, and they had what was that? It was Human League. Don't you fuck me, baby. What is the fucking words?
Oh, the 80s.
Yeah,
80s,
that Human
80s.
League song.
Yeah, 80s night. Don't you want me,
Don't you
baby?
want me, baby? Yeah.
Don't you want me? Oh, yeah.
And all the fucking goth
yeah.
people were
Yeah,
dancing,
yeah.
and
Oh,
they
yeah.
were singing out loud. Don't you want doing their thing? Wait,
Yeah.
don't you want me? Oh, don't you want? And then Mark was DJing, and he had the song going, and it was awesome because like me and Sierra and I don't know who else might have been with us. We're just kind of like watching and drinking Guinness and shit, and hanging out with Keith Johnson at the time. Old singer from Scrotesque.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was bartending,
Yeah,
and Mark was DJing, and all these goths were singing and dancing along, and then he would cut the audio out completely when it went to the part. So
Yeah.
you heard the song, "Don't you want me, baby?" Don't you? And then you heard all these guys,
Oh, yeah.
in the middle of it. It's a
Coke is a hell of a
beautiful-
drug,
Yes, it is.
and you do strange shit when you're on Coke,
Oh,
especially French Quarter Coke. It's not good.
good.
Luckily, and that's probably what got me out of Coke, is because I used to have a really good hookup, and I was fucking cooking all day, and then shit happened, and that how illegal things do.
Mm-hmm.
Your supplier gets popped or whatever,
Yeah.
and you got to find a different source.
Funny things happen
Yeah,
on the way to the Coke dealer.
when you're dealing with illegal shit, and then so it's like, well, fuck, the only place we can find Coke is in the Quarter. Okay, well, this is whatever, and then you do French Quarter shit Coke for like a month, and you're like, you know what, dude, I'm good. I don't need to do this
I think
anymore.
you've just proven the point.
And you just it's okay. It's not.
At the quotas.
Yeah.
At the quotas, don't know. Shit,
Horrible.
dude, we were driving through. I went and picked her up. I took off work today. I
Oh,
went
good. Mazel tov.
Mazel
Good,
tov,
good
indeed.
for you.
Yeah. Mental Health Day.
Always need those.
I went. I saw she took the shuttle down from to the med school, and I picked her up there. And dude, it's a fucking madhouse out there right now, or at least 3-4 hours ago when I went and picked her up.
Yeah.
Just Canal Street was a goddamn mess, and it was ambulance after ambulance after ambulance,
Wow.
and fucking people
Well.
just goddamn going nuts, and the traffic was abysmal. And it was a mess. I don't know what the hell's going on right now in
Life in the city.
in Nolans or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of brutal right now, and we were just deciding we wanted to celebrate because she just got a raise. Oh yeah.
Well, very good.
An unexpected raise. The whole team, but
I was thinking about doing. I can't get off of that stuff though. Guess I gotta get rid of this sooner or later.
are you going to? Do you consider that an upgrade or a downgrade?
From
What you were drinking before?
this is a downgrade for sure.
Okay. We're gonna sliver
I'm
on down.
totally into this stuff, which
That
we will
stuff
not
right
show
there.
you.
No, we're gonna try to avoid corporate bullshit.
If you want to find out what we're drinking, which is either Scotch or bourbon, You're gonna have to pass.
I mean, we might let one.
I mean, I know you can see this, and you know what this is because you can see this.
Yeah.
And that's unmistakable. But
pretty much. But we're not drinking that right now.
we're not drinking that right now.
Nor are we advocating.
This is a bourbon, and these are scotches. And if you want to know what kind of scotch this is, you're gonna have to pass.
That's right. Because we don't drink for free, man. We're professionals.
And then after they pay us, then it'll be the Metal Lens brought to you by.
Right.
We will become corporate whores.
Exactly. Heiner Schlafter or some
Yes.
fucking whatever. Now let's do this in stereo actually, because
okay.
you got the. I'm gonna back up a little bit because we've had some pretty significant spikes in the audio as a result of this.
Okay.
And I'm gonna back up a little bit, but if we can get a little shake of the ice and a little crack of the can. Music.
What else are you gonna do on a Friday?
Make a fucking podcast about metal heads for metal heads. And who's gonna listen to it? Hopefully.
Your mother.
Not just my mother.
Everyone's mother.
Everyone's mother.
So yeah, I mean that's
All over the world.
those are really good albums, guys. Windhand, Windhand's new. I mean, we talked about this before, but Windhand's latest offering, Eternal Return, is very good because their previous albums they were doing, and I kind of get because it's a doom thing. You know, you push your guitars and your vocals are kind of low. They're not out in front like pop music per se. But like Grief's Eternal Flower, I really like that album, but it's like fucking with the EQ because I really want to hear the vocals because she does a great job with the vocals, you know. She has a really deep voice. It's like, is that a dude or a chick? Oh, it's a chick. And this album, she's much more in front. It's mixed much better. And I guess that's kind of what I'm really finding a lot from these newer albums. The production is much better. Much, much better. With Forming the Void, their latest offering is because it's produced much better. Conan, fantastically produced. I mean, I think they kind of got popular enough to where they probably linked up. I have to look at the credits and see. But I'm pretty sure they probably got a new producer, and he's like, look, guys, we're going to do it this fucking way. And it's excellent. Fucking excellent. Highly recommend the Conan album. It's a fucking monster.
Now, how much of that do you think has to do with like limitations versus their intention to put out a particular album? Because, it's 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2018, and the digital recording options, the ease of access to not only information and learning how to do a decent recording. You can just get it on YouTube and learn how to be a fucking studio engineer, but like just the software that's available. You got shit that's available for free. That you can download and mix stuff, you know. Maybe just get to a certain point, you know, and also understand that it always is going to boil down to the hardware, the microphones, the microphone placement, the fundamental understanding of, like, you know, acoustics and psychoacoustics and all that shit. I get that, but I mean, I think we've kind of it's gotten a little bit easier to some point, and I think that if we were 18 years old, you and me, right now, and we did Rotten Anatomy right now, as opposed to like when we did it like in whatever, 95 or whatever. Yeah. Okay. We could probably pull off a way better recording than we did on my old Tascam 4 track. So my question is this.
Yes.
Okay. Although technology and shit has brought us so far, how much of like the discrepancy of what we're talking about in terms of like production value from one album to the other and the kind of stuff that we're listening to is a matter of yeah, honestly, money and time and access and resources, and how much of it is actually deliberate. The reason I ask that is because I used to listen to a shit ton of black metal, like around the same time in the mid
Yeah.
'90s and stuff. And I know and a lot of bands. One of them, Dark Throne in particular,
Yes.
made a very deliberate effort to do these lo-fi recordings. Like they
The-
wanted to sound, like a cheap recording. They wanted
the
to
word
sound
the word you're looking for is cold.
cold. They wanted to sound cold.
Yes.
And
Yes,
frosty and northernmost and
It's a
eternal.
It's
and,
a washy sound. It's cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So, yeah, I knew where you were going with that.
All right.
And so here's the thing, guys. I've been playing for a long time. As long as we've
Right
been
on.
playing for a long time.
Yep.
And for the past 10 years, I've gotten into recording. We're in my studio right now, my recording studio.
Yep.
That's where we're doing this. There's a lot of shit that goes into it. Oh, well, you got digital shit and, analog. And forget about analog.
Right.
Just shut up. You're a fucking hipster asshole if you think, oh, well, tape sounds. Shut up. So here's the thing, because I've always recorded my own music. I've recorded a few other bands too.
Right.
And here's the deal, okay? The Pro Tools and the equipment that I have is fairly primitive. I don't have $500 microphones and stuff like that, okay? But the thing is, when you're doing your own stuff, and I know this from experience, okay, I do not recommend it at all. Just say, oh, fuck, I can record my own shit. Don't do it. Find somebody you trust and get it recorded. Because, like with the Capsizer thing, which is out at Bandcamp. It's recording and capturing everything and getting everything right is hard. Let me back up. Getting your tracks down and playing and performing your tracks on the recording you want to record is hard enough, let alone worrying about the fucking recording too. You might sit there and go, oh, well, I can handle that. No, you fucking can't. Okay? It's worry. When you want to put out something and you want to record something, you want to put it out there, the only thing you should be worrying about is the performance and getting your fucking tracks down.
Mm-hmm.
We getting our tracks down. I'm worried about the fucking recording. I got to jump back and forth. All the fucking goddamn DI box is making a fucking buzz. Mm-hmm. And I'm dealing with all that shit, not thinking about what I want to do with the song, how I want to put my tracks down. Do I really want to go through and should I double it? Ah, fuck, dude, it's getting fucking late because I spent this time working this and I'm trying to mix in between. I'm like, ah, fuck the other fucking track. I'm just, this good enough.
Yeah.
That's the shit that happens. Don't fucking do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just go somewhere and worry about just getting your fucking tracks down. Now, as far as production and shit goes, you gotta go with somebody you trust, and you gotta if you happen to be in a situation to where you got a record deal and they're like, hey, we want you to record at this studio and we're gonna send this producer over there.
Mm-hmm.
Trust him. Fucking trust him.
Huh.
Okay, you're biased to your own shit. Now, and when you're a producer, because I've had to kind of put this hat on, I've recorded other bands,
Right.
me sitting behind the console,
Yep.
and I've had to put the producer hat a little bit too, so I kind of know what that's like. And you got to listen to what the band wants to do. You got to listen to what it's good to bring in some material. Let me know what you're about. Okay, and then you go into this as a project. I'm in this project. It's almost like you're a part of the band. I want to make this good. I want to make this great. And so as a producer, you got to listen to what they want to do and what they want to accomplish. And then the band has to trust in what the decision is made by the producer to do. And believe me, a lot of shit is throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
But and that has a lot to do with how much money is at your disposal.
Right.
But and you as band members, you got to worry about getting your fucking tracks down. Now, as far as what type of sound you're looking for, relay that message, and then it's the producer's job to deliver on making your ideas happen. Whichever way he's gonna do it, that's his job to get that done. You want it to sound like this? This is how we do it. Well, I don't never play through that. Well, you're fucking playing through it today. Well, I always play through this, and I don't never shut the fuck up and do what I'm telling you to do.
Right.
You told me what you want.
Right.
I'm telling you how to get there. Let's go.
Trust.
So
Yeah.
once you relay that message, you have to trust that the producer's going to do his job and get done what you want done. And you should just be following orders going, we want you to go into the fucking bathroom and sing upside down.
Right.
Okay, set it up. Let's do that.
Yes, sir.
And it's things like that make that shit happen, you know? Because, you know, the producer's not going to know what you want to do. And you know, I really kind of go back to one of my favorite artists of all time is Al Cisneros, okay, with Sleep and Ohm. Now, when he went to Ohm, the first two albums were pretty raw and pretty typical Sleepish, kind of, the way they were produced and the way they were done. And then God Is Good came out, and it was like, oh, fucking Christ. This is goddamn incredible. And it sounded so different than anything he's ever done. So I'm like, well, who produced that? Oh, okay. He went to a different thing, a totally different recording studio, a different producer, different this and that, and you know, whatever. And in the album, and you can see, and this is why I'm still a fan of a tangible CD, or something that I can hold and look at.
Right.
Because there's pictures of him sitting behind the console. It's him and Chris and Emil Amos with the recording, with the producer. Sitting behind the console, listening back,
Right.
giving feedback to each other, talking about the shit. And it was so different. It was so clean. That album, God Is Good, it's just it's a pristine record. It's like they recorded it in a vacuum because it's so crystal clean and perfect sounding. And obviously, that was something Al Cisneros wanted. And he got with a producer, and the producer got it for him.
Yeah.
This is what you want. This is what we have to do to get there.
Right. Right. And still, certain styles will kind of lend themselves to, you know, different. Like I can't imagine. I can imagine it, but I mean, I don't know if it would have been executed properly and come across quite the same. Like an Justice for All.
Yeah.
Being like a really raw. You know, judgments and criticisms of the production notwithstanding.
Well, now,
that album is very tight.
Yeah.
Okay, very tight
Yeah.
and very clean, and it's got a ton of flaws. But I'm saying, like, imagine something like that with the same production value as like even Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
Had like a roughness and a dirtiness that you would probably expect from like some of like the New York hardcore bands, and you know what I mean.
But of
like
course, that was the style of production that was going on in the day.
That's true.
The vocals were out in front because that's what you do with everything.
Yeah.
The drums are kind of back, the bass was kind of back. But I'm glad you brought up Injustice for All because that's a good point.
All right.
Because ultimately, it is the artist's decision. I don't want to paint the picture that it's, you know, well, I'm the producer and I'm Bob
Right.
Rock and this is what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
It's Bob Rock's
No,
job.
that didn't happen until a couple years later.
Right. But it would be the producer's job to get done what the artist wants.
Yeah.
So it's ultimately it's the artist's fucking record. It's not the producer's record.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's ultimately because if you I'm sure a lot of y'all looked it up because there's tons of shit on that album, Injustice for All, and there's the original guy, the original producer, and he walked away from the project pretty much because he put his mix in, and he got it to where he liked it.
Yeah.
And he pretty much said, Lars come in and said, no, do it like this. And he's like, are you kidding me? Really?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, well, it's your album.
Yeah.
You're the artist. It's your fucking album. Here it goes. It's like, well, I kind of threw my hands up because, and it really, and what he was talking about was he just wishes that, and he didn't have the originals that he did, and he wished he did because he wanted it mixed the way he heard it.
Okay.
And when you get to that level, because we're little peon levels, okay? Dealing with like people like Chris George and Jeff and all of them, but that's local shit down here. But when you get up to record, like, you signed with Columbia fucking Records and like, hey, we're gonna fly a producer over to you to this record. When you get to that level, those guys know what the fuck they hear. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he wanted it record. He wanted to hear it mixed the way that's the way he heard it. This is a fucking guy that's been in the industry forever, produced thousands of fucking hits, and this is y'all are playing this, and this is the way I hear it, and this is the way I have it mixed.
Yeah.
And it did not come out that way. It was changed by the artist.
Yeah.
Lars come in and said, take the fucking bass down to where you can barely fucking hear it, and then take it down a little more. And take the drums and do this. He's like, you want to do what with the drums? And that's what they did, and that's what that. And the way it looked like to me, you can look it up, but the way it looked like to me is this guy with curly hair and little weird blue tinted glasses.
I've seen that, yeah.
And it seems like that's coming straight from the horse's mouth, from where he was in the fucking control room as it went down. The decision was made on the mix for Injustice for All. So
Yeah.
So it's ultimately the artist's decision. It's their fucking album, But it's always a good. It's because I mean we're on the DIY level, and it's it can happen. We've done it. I mean the Capsize album. Go listen to it. It's on Bandcamp. The second one, the latest one, Grid God, and you could listen to the first one. And War Party, and you could tell a little difference. I got a little better, and I recorded it, and I played it, and I recorded it, and it's I've done that with all my music, and it's if you really want to be serious about it, go to somebody and just worry about getting your fucking tracks down. When you're trying to worry about getting your tracks down and performing the way you want to, and then you also have to worry about recording everybody else and recording everything. It's too much.
Yeah, it is.
And it's ultimately you're gonna be a little disappointed, even if you know what you're doing recording, because you're gonna cut corners. It's gonna be long nights. It's gonna be this and that. It's just worry about getting your fucking tracks down, and it's probably gonna end up being a better recording. That's the tip of the night.
If we only knew that around my little 4-track Fostex.
Yeah, well, it took me 20 years to fucking, or 10 years of recording, and, it's experience, You got to go through it.
Yeah.
And I might end up doing it again. Because me and Joe got, we're kind of in the middle of the last song. It's probably 60-80% done, and after we do that, we're recording, and it will be on the interweb.
Yes, the interweb.
For you to enjoy at your leisure.
Indeed. Oh, hell to the yeah. And with that, I think we will call it
Yeah, I think that's good.
a cast. So thank you for potting, Troy. Now we will cast it.
I enjoy potting regularly.
Yep. That's why they call it a podcast.
Goodbye, folks.
See ya.